And together with me is Trisha. So I'd like to acknowledge first the presence of the professors and of course Architect Roy Trani for helping us conduct this session for the students of USC. And of course Architect Sergio Raagas, Architect Roel Shi, Architect Anne Nacorda, and Architect Margaret Rosario. And of course, good morning to the students of University of San Carlos. So we're here today to discuss the mechanics and guidelines of ArchiNEXT 2022. And the first part will be the discussion of the mechanics. And then afterwards, we could answer some of your questions if ever you have questions regarding the mechanics and guidelines for ArchiNEXT. So you could turn on your mic or you could just type in the chat box and then we'll just read it and answer the questions. So I think we'll start now the discussion of the mechanics. And if ever for those who are late sa pagpasok sa Zoom, we'll just probably recall some of the pointers, the important ones after the whole discussion. So let's start. I'll share my screen first. Okay, so as you all know, ArchiNEXT is HCG Young Designers Competition. So HCG is the bathroom fixture brand. If you're familiar with it, we're on our 8th year this year. And of course, we want to give platforms for young designers like you, third year and fourth year architecture students. So this is a nationwide competition. It's a three-part program. We've partnered with United Architects of the Philippines and also CODHAS, or Council of Deans and Heads of Architecture Schools in the Philippines. So it's a competition, scholarship, and internship opportunity for the students. I'll be briefly discussing the scholarship and internship if ever you're interested after the presentation. So just to give you a brief background on what was 2021 topic of ArchiNEXT, it's LINGAP, General Hospital and Extended Emergency Facility. So in ArchiNEXT, we wanted to give topics which is very much relatable to the situation that we're currently facing in our country. So for the 2021 topic, as we all know, we were hit by the pandemic. So ito yung medyo critical nung time na yon. So we introduced the team LINGAP. The 2021 winners were from Bicol University, so Yvonne Joy Salamero and Adrian Jerome Pajarillo. So later I'll also be discussing kung bakit dalawa yung nasa, kasi previously ArchiNEXT is an individual competition, so we've opened it to group entries na. So later I'll be discussing as well yung mga guidelines for ArchiNEXT 2022. Now we go to the theme of ArchiNEXT 2022. It's Luling Hayao, a localized sustainable ecotourism destination. So why did we choose an ecotourism destination as the topic for this competition? So since pandemic na and tourism industry was really affected by the pandemic. So everyone was parang restricted at their homes and tumamalay talaga yung industry natin ng tourism, which is parang big chunk siya on our economy. So the Department of Tourism wanted to boost the tourism industry again. And of course, we wanted the students to take part of it, even if it's just for like a competition per se. So we've coordinated as well with Department of Tourism on the tourism products that we might use inside the project. So later I'll be discussing it as well. But their priority is to have a localized sustainable ecotourism destination which is very Filipino inspired. Meaning, kasi some of the tourist destination that we have in the Philippines, meron siyang inspired by somewhere. So parang minsan Bali-inspired, westernized, or European style. So the Department of Tourism really wanted to promote Philippine architecture, culture, tradition, and customs in this competition. So if ever that you'll be designing or joining the competition, ito na yung chance on how can we promote the Philippine architecture sa ating tourist destination. So the guidelines for the ArchiNEXT 2022 competition, here are the three topmost guidelines that we have. First, you have to have a local amenity or facility that is unique to the chosen location that will promote local tradition, culture, products, or a certain area dun sa napili ninyo na location. So on top of that, you have to incorporate minimum of 5 types of tourism products, which I'll be discussing in a short while. And of course, it has to fall into a 4-star category. So yung 5 types of tourism products, actually, medyo parehas sila in terms of location itself. Kasi mostly that I'll be discussing with you, related siya sa water. So, kasi very abundant ang Philippines sa water resources and also sa, actually sometimes sa mountains. So, it's up to the students on how they'll look for a location and then incorporate the 5 types of tourism products that they would want. So for the tourism products, first it's nature-based tourism. So this tourism relies directly to the ecotourism, wildlife tourism, nature recreation, or adventure. So this one is experiences that you directly relate to those the tourism. So the second one is cultural tourism, which is a travel with the intent of experiencing a culture of a certain region or a location, or kung baga sa atin, parang may mga iba-iba tayong mga group of people or yung mga nakasanayan na natin sa isang lugar. So pwede nyo din siyang i-highlight dun sa project ninyo. The third one is sun and beach tourism. This combines water and land resources of the beach, which focuses on the aesthetic and environmental values of it. So most of the students actually that are inquiring to us, mostly they would use the sun and beach kasi ito yung very abundant sa atin. So the fourth one is health, wellness, and retirement tourism. So this focuses on maintaining or enhancing personal health and well-being. The fifth one is cruise and nautical tourism. So this tourism combines the whole of marine recreation activities, both shores and off ports. So the sixth one is MICE, or Meetings, Incentives, Convention, and Exhibition Tourism. So tourism provision that is planned and designed for a large group of people for a particular purpose. So ito yung mga parang facilities wherein they can conduct exhibits or small gatherings. So yun yung pwede nyo din incorporate sa project ninyo. And then next one is leisure and entertainment tourism. So this industry is focused on recreation, entertainment, sports, and tourism services. The last two is diving and marine sports tourism, which refers to marine and coastal-based sports presented as tourist attraction around the waterfront. And then the last one is education tourism. This pursues a pretext of the trip is for learning the history, culture, and social knowledge about the certain location or region or country. So actually, if you notice, most of them are interrelated with each other. So it's up to you on how you could come up with some of the facilities that would fall in this particular tourism products that we have. So for the area selection, students can identify a space or study the viability to build the facility. So the lot requirement is minimum 5 hectares up to 10 hectares. Some of the students then asked us if ever they could use an existing location wherein meron ng mga existing facilities doon. And then yun yung gagamitin nila. Actually, this is okay with us. If ever you have a location na tingin ninyo is the best location for your project, even if there's already an existing facility there. Isipin na lang natin na wala yung facility doon, and then you could use it for your project. For the criteria for judging, 50% of it is for the design excellence and architectural planning. Again, we would be looking into how you would showcase Philippine architecture, culture, tradition, and practices in your design. And of course, your design should be, since madaming tourism products that you will be incorporating in your project, kailangan nyo din mapakita how it would be correlated with each other and how the tourists would be using it, parang yung flow niya and all, how it would be hindi yung gulo-gulo. So we'll be looking into how you would put the facilities in the right places for your project. The second one is 30% would be for the design sustainability and eco-friendliness. So of course, previously, even before we started ArchiNEXT, the past topics that we did, we always incorporate eco-friendliness as one of the criteria for judging. We wanted the students to think more about the environment, how we could, even if we're designing something, we have to really keep in mind na we have to design a greener and sustainable environment. And of course, through our designs, it has to be more sustainable and the next generation could use it still. So that last one is 20% for innovativeness. So this is still a competition, especially now, meron kaming mga specified tourism products that you would be incorporating. So mostly the students might come up with the same tourism products in their design. So paano nyo ba mapapakita or madidistinguish ng judges yung inyong entry aside dun sa mga matatanggap, ma-review pa nila? So you have to think outside of the box and how your entries would stand out, especially that yun nga, magkakaparehas yung, may chance talaga na magkakaroon ng magkakaparehas na tourism products in the projects that will be submitted to us. So be creative, and of course, yun nga, just keep in mind how you would promote Philippine architecture through your designs. So for the mechanics, again, ArchiNEXT 2022 allows individual and group entries. So for individual, you just have to be a third year or fourth year architecture student. And if you wanted to join as a group, maximum of 3 members. So you could also be a duo. Mix of third year or fourth year or full third year or fourth year is accepted. Basta you'll have to be in the same college or university. You're enrolled in the same college or university. So as you can see from the slide that I had for the winners, mostly group entry siya. Actually, for the 2021 competition, the top 10, isa lang yung nag-individual sa kanila. So why did we choose to have a group entry for ArchiNEXT 2022 and 2021? Actually, because first, medyo malaki yung scope of the project. And the second one is we wanted to encourage the third year students to join. Kasi mostly, mga fourth year students yung sumasali sa competition. So the third year student might be a bit hesitant in joining competitions. So we wanted to give them an opportunity as well to, kasi sa group you could mix with a fourth year, or pwede kayong at least tatlo kayo or dalawang third year students yung sasali sa group entry. So medyo baka mas maging comfortable kayo in joining as a group for the competition. So the specified output, we would be needing maximum of 5 HE size paper, either landscape orientation or portrait orientation for your project. So sometimes the students could put all the all their designs in just 3 or 2, may mga ganon cases kami. But you have the option to maximize it at least at 5 pages. So we've listed the requirements for each page kung ano yung mga pwede nyo ilagay sa mga pages na gagamitin ninyo in our website. So the full narrative of the design concept will also be needing it, especially if pwede nyo explain dito yung, of course, in design and also the location and why you chose the location for your project. Then we will be needing soft copy and hard copies of your design. So for the soft copy, you have to save it in a CD, or sometimes if you want to save it in USB, it's also okay with us, but we cannot return the USB na. So for you to save, just save it in a CD, and then soft copy of your entries, and then your entry form and endorsement letter, plus your ID, I think. And then you have to make sure lang that the files are not corrupted, kasi there are cases na nagpasa sa amin yung student but the files are corrupted. So if time permits, sometimes we contact the students to send again the soft copy, but it depends on how many entries are we getting, kasi if gahol sa oras, syempre i-review namin muna lahat, and then if gahol sa oras, baka hindi na namin makontak yung student before the preliminary screening. So automatically they'll be disqualified. So make sure that if you send anything to us, it's not corrupted file. Then for the hard copies, if ever that, kasi I think online classes pa din kayo, for the endorsement letter, if the dean or the chairperson of the department could authorize you to use the e-signature, then it's okay with us po. So even if pwede din yung professor, if mas madali sa students yung pagkuha ng e-signature nila. And then just have to attach also for the hard copies, especially of the entry, do not put any information about you or your school. So bawal lang names ninyo in front and name ng school. So it would only be at the back portion. So why do we need the hard copies for you? Kasi we do the preliminary screening using your soft copies, and then the hard copies po, we might have, if medyo okay na yung situation natin next year, if during the final screening it would be okay for us to conduct a face-to-face final screening, then we'll be using the hard copies that you will be sending, just like what we did previous years of ArchiNEXT. So neto lang 2021 yung hindi kami nakapag-conduct ng physical final screening. So again, also for the soft copies of your entries, since during preliminary screening, dun sinasala ng mga judges yung magiging pasok sa magic number or sa top 10. So you have to make sure that the soft copies are clear and readable nung ating mga judges. Kasi of course, if medyo magulo or malabo, tas may hirapan yung judges, they might not put so much effort reviewing your designs. So sayang. Entry sending will be care of Huacheng Philippines Corporation. The downloadable shipping letter will be available this November. So we'll be putting it in our website. So you just need to go to the nearest LBC outlet in your area, and it's for free already. Just show the letter and your ID. And then you have to submit your entries on or before December 31, 2021. So ang deadline namin is December 31, 2021. Make sure lang na it's open, but I think hindi na siya holiday as per the news. So I think open naman yung LBC outlet. So it's safe if ever you wanted to really send the entries on the last day of the deadline. So pero pwede nyo din naman i-send prior the deadline. So for our screening process, initial screening is done by marketing of HCG. So we'll be checking all the documents sent to us, and then kung wala nang kulang, then we will mark it and use it sa preliminary screening. So if time permits, tapos may mga kulang dun sa ibang entries, we might contact the students and let them send the corrupted files, but it's a case-to-case basis. So for the preliminary screening, this is where the magic number of entries will be selected. So it's 15 to 20% of the total numbers of entry. Yung magic number will be used for the most popular award for the special award. So we'll be posting the magic number entries in our website, and then meron kayong certain period that you could vote for your entry, or your friends, family could vote for it. And then the magic number will then be we'll have to cut the magic number into, for example, last time kasi we chose at least top 20 or top 10 to be used for the final screening. So depending on how many entries are we getting for 2022. So either top 10 or top 20 will be selected for the final screening and deliberation. So for the deliberation, only the top 5 based from the final screening grade will be asked to present a PowerPoint presentation about their their project, and then they have to answer some of the questions of the judges. This is for us to, of course, know that you really is knowledgeable about your entry. So para kasi may mga instances din na may mga clarifications yung judges about the design. They have clarification. So yun yung time para to clarify everything, and also for them to know na you really did your project and you know it very well. So for the prizes, again, for the most popular, this is from the magic number that I've discussed a while ago. So most popular will be decided as the most liked project in our website. So the students would automatically get 5,000 pesos for it. And then most innovative and best presentation will be decided by the judges during the final screening and deliberation. So each will get 10,000 pesos. Of course, we wanted to acknowledge as well the school of the students. So for the school counterpart prizes, the most participative, or if your school will send us the most numbers of entry, you'll automatically get 5,000 pesos. And if the student came from your school for the top 3, winner, the school will get 15,000 pesos. For the top 2, it's 20,000 pesos. And for the gold, it's 25,000 pesos. For the top 10 finalists, regardless if you're joining as an individual or as a group entry, the top 6 to 10 will get 10,000 pesos. The top 4 to 5 will get 15,000 pesos. Top 3 will get 30,000 pesos. Top 2 is 50,000. And the grand winner is 100,000 pesos. So if ever that feeling ninyo kaya nyo naman mag-individual entry, then you'll have more chances of getting more prizes. Unlike pag group entry kayo, you'll have to divide the prizes sa group members. So, win-win situation naman siya. It's up to you kung saan kayo comfortable on paano kayo mag-join sa ArchiNEXT, if you're individual or group. So, it's up to you. Entry should be with us December 31, 2021. So if ever that you'll be sending the entries by December 31, and then we'll be receiving it January, okay pa din yon, just as long as your parcel was received by LBC outlet on December 31, 2021. So pag lumagpas kayo dyan, hindi na namin, yun yung hindi talaga siya magka-qualify for ArchiNEXT. So make sure to send it on time. So challenges never end. Join ArchiNEXT 2022. If you have any questions or you want to see the full mechanics of ArchiNEXT 2022, just go to our website, archinext.ph, or you can message us at facebook.com/archinext.ph, or you can send an email, archinextph@gmail.com. So I think that's the end of the presentation for the competition. But if ever that the students wanted to apply for the scholarship, if you'll be needing a financial assistance to your studies, scholarship is granted for 10. We'll be choosing 10 students, and then it will be chosen through the top 50% of the total numbers of entries. So for example, we get 200, at least you have to be at the top 100 during the preliminary screening para you could qualify. And of course, you have to present your parents' ITR to us. It has to be lower than 300,000 pesos. And we'll be granting 30,000 pesos for each scholar of ArchiNEXT. So for the internship naman, it's open to our top 10 winners only. So we've partnered with some of the architectural firms, and then they've designated already some slots for ArchiNEXT winners sa kanilang firm. So if ever that you'll be included in top 10 and medyo may gusto kayong firm kung hindi yung mga firms na partnered namin, we can help you with it. I think may mga connections naman si HCG and ArchiNEXT sa mga iba't ibang architectural firms. So actually for the firms that we've talked to, lagi nilang tinitignan sa CV na nagpapasa sa kanila if students are joining competition. So ito yung tip ko sa inyo, just join competitions because most of the firms are really looking into students who are very proactive and would want to challenge themselves. Kasi ganun naman if ever you'll be joining a firm, of course, or practicing already your profession. So it's also like a competition. So at least habang bata pa kayo or you're still studying, mahuhon na yung confidence ninyo and also how you be able to present to a large group or kung paano nyo i-defend yung mga designs ninyo. So this is also a good training ground for you for aside from the prize that you'll be getting for ArchiNEXT. So this one is really more helpful for you in terms of building your rapport as well to the other people. So yon. If ever that you have questions for us, you may ask now. And we'll try to answer it. If ever na medyo technical siya, we'll have to check it with our consultant and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. As soon as we get the right answer to your questions. So, any questions? Or pwede din akong sabi ng mga ilang questions na encounter namin during the school tours. It might be the same questions that you would want to ask to us. So first, I think if ever that we would be allowing manual drawing for the competition. So manual drawing is also allowed for ArchiNEXT. Just make sure na pwede din siyang mix. So kung gusto nyo digital and manual, it's okay with us. Just make sure that if ever you'll be sending the soft copies, it has to be clear and crisp. Again, the soft copies will be used during the preliminary screening. So especially for the manual drawings, medyo mahirap siyang i-scan. So just make sure na makakahanap kayo ng place wherein yung scanning talaga nila is very clear and crisp. And then other questions would be kung ilan yung pwedeng isend ng school. Again, if you're vying for the most participative, then you can send as much as you can na entry sa ArchiNEXT. But some schools also parang sinasala na nila on their own prior sending to ArchiNEXT. So may mga ganong schools din. Especially if the topic was used in some of the classes. So chine-check na ng faculty ng school kung ano lang yung mga entries na isi-send sa ArchiNEXT. So pwede din po yun. And then if ever that we will be extending the deadline, we will not be extending the deadline unless there's a calamity. Of course, we don't pray for it. So just make sure na you could send your entries on or before December 31 to be valid. And the awarding, if ever UAP will conduct already their CONEX and National Convention next April. So we'll be inviting, if ever the students are from Visayas and Mindanao, we'll be flying them in Manila for 3 days, and then they can attend the awarding. So it's the second night of National Convention of UAP. So normally it's conducted at SMX convention. So second night yung awarding. And then of course, your entries will be displayed sa hall ng CONEX, and then the participants of CONEX, practicing architects, would see your works. So plus points din siya sa inyo. So any questions from the students or faculty of USC?
Hey guys, any questions? We actually joined this last year, Ma'am Delaney. And then the reason there's so few students today is because we just started our second project for the SEM. What happened last year was we started a bit later, so na timing sa ArchiNEXT competition. So we made it our project for that SEM. But we started a bit earlier this SEM. That's why we only have very few interested students, because they're already very what they call this, busy. So most probably these students, if any of them are interested, will be joining in their fourth year pa. And then I'm really interested in this topic, so I'm trying to convince the dean and the chairperson to make this, to really schedule in ArchiNEXT for next year for both third years and fourth years. So maybe you'll get more students next year.
Okay, sir. So probably for next year, we'll have to tie it up with your schedule as well for your classes.
I'll just email earlier. I totally forgot about it this year. But we had I think we had 5 entries last year.
And I think may pasok sa top 20 ba? So USC,
I think we had 4 sa top 20.
Yeah.
So 4 to 5 went to top 20 and 1 got to top 10. So that was very good. It's just that mahirap ang timing ngayon.
Sige, sir. If ever, we'll just have to coordinate with you earlier siguro next year.
I'll send my emails like siguro at the start of the SEMPA, so that everything will be coordinated.
Okay,
how about you guys, students? If you're like interested in joining, probably next year na jud. So
it's an annual competition naman. So we're sure that for ArchiNEXT 2023, we still have naman.
Yes. Hello guys, anyone there? And they're probably still finishing up their assignment.
Okay, so if ever you don't have any more questions po, we'll just ask one last request. Kasi normally when we do school tours, we have a photo op with the students. So now we'll just do it online. We'll screenshot this Zoom, and if ever you could open, some of you could open your videos, and then we'll be posting it in our website, in our Facebook page later.
They're there pala. We have Cloyd. What about the others? Open mo yung camera. And then we have Joseph. Joseph's actually a student from Egypt.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was speaking Tagalog po a while ago.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so
right.
I'll take screenshot now. So 1, 2. Okay, so for the students who would want to join the ArchiNEXT 2022, if you still have time to join, kindly join. And if ever you're still interested to join ArchiNEXT 2023, then we're excited to see your works as well. And again, thank you very much, Architect Roy and Architect Ruel, for accommodating us today. Hopefully, we can see you and visit Cebu by next year already for the school tour naman. We normally visit USC every time we conduct ArchiNEXT. So hopefully by next year, we'll be visiting your school already. If the situation is already okay.
Yes, if
So
COVID permits.
yes. Okay, so
Mhm.
thank you again. Thank you very much, students of USC and the professors. So keep safe, everyone, and we hope to see you in the future.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Cute sa dog ni sir.
Thank you, sir. Cute na nga.
All right. See you.